Good. Good. Go ahead and call this meeting to order, 6:30 PM. You would, pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Stephen Stokes present. Shane Childers present.
Caroline present. Laura Houston present.
Approved meeting minutes for 1/6/2026, regular meeting minutes. We need to approve, meeting minutes from 1/6/2026.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Approved claims, February 2026.
We approve the claims of February 2026.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We need to approve the January 2026 bank reconciliation.
Move to approve January 2026 bank reconciliation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public request to speak not related to an agenda item. New business. Consider the Jackson Township fire contract. This contract with the Jackson Township trustees provide payment to the town for clothing and auto allowance and for the contract fire protection in the amount of $35,000 for 1 year beginning retroactively February 1, 2026 to February 1 of 2027. Payment compensation, semi-annual basis, 1/2 being paid in June and 1/2 being paid in December. Any questions concerning the fire contract with Jackson Township? Entertain a motion.
I move to approve Jackson Township fire contract.
Second.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2026-02. Suspend monthly sewer transfers. Whereas it be resolved on this day, a motion was made, second, and carried that the transfer of $2,500 from sewer cash operating to sewer depreciation be suspended for the months of January through June 2026. This is to bill cash operating for operating expenses. Are there any questions for resolution 2026-02? Entertain a motion.
I move we approve resolution 2026-02.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Clerk treasurer,
I have nothing to report.
Patrick?
Got nothing to report, but I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody's got them.
Josh?
Not much to report. They're slowly making headway out there with the subdivision. Met with IMPA today to do their pre-construction for them to start doing the conduit and pulling of electrical wire out there. Was hoping to have signatures back from Purdy by today, to you guys for the easement. That did not happen. Last I knew, they were dropping it off at their lawyers for them to look everything over. So that's where that is. So
That gonna cause any problems?
no, when they talked to everybody, everything was good. They were fine with
The
it.
length of packages.
No, I mean, IFA's not looking at starting inside the subdivision until towards the end of this month. The housing development people or Harbor's not scheduled to start building until sometime in March, so we should be right in that time frame. So if worst case scenario is I may have to have a special meeting towards the end for you guys to do your signing and that kind of thing to get a check to them, so make sure we have, if need be, before March's meeting. And I don't think it's gonna be an issue. Right? It's typically, you're supposed to let it lie 30 days after the signing, that kind of thing, from what I'm told. That's Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong. Usually after they sign for the easement, it's usually 30 days it lies before it's recorded. So, but their veterans was asking Purdy for, pretty much to get it recorded immediately afterwards. They would have to issue it. So that's what that's pretty much. So, but other than that, they're finally moving forward up there at the sewer plant after a slow month up there. Of course, we were had a snowstorm, was out for 22 hours straight on that one, but other than that, nothing much else. Unless you guys have questions or concerns.
Did John have anything?
I think he was just going to give an update on the project up there.
Yeah, a couple of things. I don't have anything for council action or approval tonight, but on the utility relocation on State Road 75 and Lowry Street, since the last council meeting, the contractor did complete the one manhole that they needed to line. They lined the manhole and they had a successful vacuum test on that manhole. So they're essentially done with their work, aside from any restoration in the spring that may need to be done. On the wastewater treatment plant, like Josh noted, it's been a pretty slow last 30 days or so since the last council meeting. They did install a drain line, which is the background of my video, or the drain line from the sludge dewatering building to the lift station. That's been complete and tied in. That's really about it. They're going to start ramping up and really moving on the wastewater plant work. I don't have any pay applications for you for this month, so I expect I will have those in the next meeting. So that's about all I've got for tonight.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, and your crew for all you've done for cleaning the roads and everything.
You're welcome.
Aaron?
Number report for January 2026. There were 24 traffic stops, 6 citations issued, 10 written warnings, 2 vehicles were impounded. We had 2 crash reports. We had 8 runs assisting other law enforcement agencies, 7 runs assisting fire and EMS. 3 case reports. One was for operating while intoxicated, one was for operating without ever receiving a license, and one was a death investigation on actual death. The 2 investigations ongoing, 1 active alarm, 1 outright arrest. 100 reports of suspicious activity, 1 welfare check. 16 extra patrols, 1 funeral escort, 27 police services. 2 animal complaints. 6 local ordinance services. I apologize, I didn't get a flyer. Primarily the issue with the ordinance violations last month, dealing with, the blue apartments. And their issues with getting trash picked up. Beginning in January, became such a problem that I had to go down there several times and, they were, sent a violation, as well as a citation. Excuses were made. My argument, and I think the council shares this ideology that, you could, as an owner of a property, you may hire a property management company to manage it. But if they're not doing their job, you may like want to go look at your property. This was the second time in 12 months we've had this problem. So the owners of the property were issued a citation on earlier in a big old hurry, knock themselves out, come down here and pay it. There is a new property management company that came in. We met with them. Myself and one council members met with them, and they addressed our concerns pretty given the weather and everything else. At the same time this is going on, we had more issues with the former IGA being unsecured. I think in this case it was an interested party to purchase it, had an unsecured building, just left it in that condition. They did take care of getting it secured. It took a couple days. It's a problem. I know the building inspector's aware of it. I'm not sure what can be done. I'm not looking forward to dealing with it more this summer, but I doubt it's going to disappear between now and then. For 104 calls, a couple things of note. Reserve Deputy Bales is going to be participating in some field training with the Whitetown Police Department. The reason for this is he came in during COVID and went to the academy during COVID and was FTO, for lack of a better term, during COVID. And now that he's back in the department, he and I both had a conversation. He'll be more comfortable with some more exposure to everyday runs and calls. The fact of the matter is, I can't give him that on his schedule. So we're hoping that working with Captain Bertram over there, we're hoping that some of their field training officers can take him out a couple times a month and just saturate him with their daily calls for service. So that'll be a good experience for him to bring back and utilize here. Tomorrow, Detective Litcher and I will be in Benton County. I'll be presenting a training module to the Indiana Town Marshals Roundtable. And then later this month we'll be doing, I'll be instructing out the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy for EVO. Class, Tier 2 review class. You might have anything for me?
Thank you. Joe?
Well, I got a few things for you here. First, we had 21 runs last month with the new computer program that we just brought up online. First new stuff. We're having some problems with that and actually communicating with dispatch, which I'll get into that part of it here just a little bit later. So next month I'll have some better run data for you to be able to tell you kind of how many people are on each run and different types of runs and stuff like that. I'll be exact for to do that. Just know, I want to let you guys know that the JFD members are very excited that you guys started this incentive program with them and the investment that you given them to be able to kind of somewhat compensate them and also come up with a program where people that aren't responding are not getting paid. So they're really excited about that. And I just want to let you know that they're really appreciative of that. Along with that, this last month we've added 3 new firefighters. One firefighter has come back. He's a full-time firefighter paramedic from Crawfordsville. He's served with us before. So they also added Kyla Cromwell, who recently moved just kind of east here of town and wants to kind of help us out and participate. So those are 2 firefighters right there that we can actually outfit, get ready to go, and they can start responding on runs and some more. One other firefighter that we and was Cody Hawkins. He went to Southmont Vocational School where his firefighter won. We're still kind of looking at his status of where he is in that yet, but he's real excited. He's been a lifelong resident here now, so we're gonna 3 more new guys to respond on some rings. Along with that, probably gonna need to order a couple sets of gear for these guys. I'm getting a quote because the gear prices changed. Naturally, every year they kind of go up and they upgrade. Last year, we were paying about $4,135 for an entire set of gear for a firefighter. From what I'm told, yes, it's probably going to be about 5%, which is another $207. With your permission, we're going to get these guys down here. We have stuff that does fit them, which one of them already has gear. Cody already has gear. We found some gear that fits in perfectly. That's well within date. So we're going to get some more use out of it with him. But I'd like your permission to go ahead. If we need to order 2 more sets of gear, then it's okay to do that.
How many did you order already?
3.
Here's the stuff that I. Then we'll see. What you wanted to.
I just get confused, Joe, because I know that we have 30 set of gear. Some of those are expired. You said that, we don't have 30 memberships. But now, at the end of the year, you ordered 3 sets. We ordered 5 sets last year through Matt.
For the beginning of the year, you guys.
Matt ordered 5. You ordered 3. Now you're wanting 2 more.
If I need them, they have to actually come down and make sure they're fit. The biggest thing is a fit. Being fitted correctly and being naturally waist and sizes and different things. If I have gear down there that fits them, we will outfit them in that gear. The actual turnout coat, the helmet and everything. Just really, if we get to the point where we don't have stuff that fits them correctly, so they're safe, is my concern. That's why I'm asking if needs be, I could order 2 more sets. If needs be, we're not going to order them if we don't need them. It's just a matter of me getting down there, getting them in the building, and letting them try some of our stuff that is in date, that is on. We have this stuff.
And then, I look at this paper. Did you approve this paper?
No. I did not come up with this paper. This was something from the previous person.
And I just added to it as they were purchased.
Well, again, everybody in this room has heard me bitch about equipment. And the first thing that stands out at me and smacks me in the face reading this paper is 2013. Now, I specifically asked you if Mike Calvert's boots were expired. And you told me that he had gotten rid of those. Are you sure they have been gotten rid of?
Yeah.
Will you please update this sheet to where it does not show on the sheet?
You can do that. I can give you an actual person by person list of their gear, what they have, their date, their serial number and everything. That's what we're doing right now, kind of currently going through and logging into First Due. So each person is issued, so whatever gear they have, it has a serial number on it, will have a number on it, and it'll have a date on it. So I can go in the computer system and look and say, Sean Mitchell, which will get new gear that we just ordered for him, probably here in the next couple of weeks. That new gear will get logged into the system. It'll say what day he received it, what date the manufacturer is and when it expires in 10 years from that date.
I would also like for you to check out, TD Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
His boots are expired too.
I can double check that to be sure that.
There is no excuse for anyone to end on our fire department to be in expired equipment. Zero, none, unacceptable. And I will hold you accountable, Joe.
That's absolutely fine, and I want you to hold that accountable.
I do not want any expired equipment in that building unless it has been earmarked for your,
Juniors.
little ones.
And
The juniors, right? The juniors. I've got, what we discussed last
what we
month.
discussed last week, and we talked about doing something like a can of spray paint with some paint in the back to denote that this is used gear or surplus gear. And I'm actually gonna, I didn't get a chance to get everything on that list. Still working on that list, but you'll have a list of everything that we want to surplus, which will include that gear in there as surplus. So when we hand it off to them, it is surplus for us, and it's their responsibility. They can do what they want with it, dispose of it, and it's kind of out of our.
Will we be able to change my stuff? Like. Here's stuff that we've got because I will put on my independent report.
Okay, as soon as I get it in, I've got a few things in, like Helmer too. Now, we've got a login system. I will get you that, and I will work on this next month. Maybe this list per firefighter of what each firefighter has, what their serial number is. Back in. So we need saying that firefighter A has X, Y, Z, and these are the dates on their equipment, and so you guys feel comfortable with knowing what it is.
Mr. Long's stuff is expired too.
Is Tristan's?
Mr. Long's stuff is not expired. It will expire at the end of this year.
It says his boot, I'm just telling you what it says on my paper.
I know what information you're looking at, and I can tell you from personal hand, I was just down there and like, Mr. Fred's, when we ordered his, I knew his stuff had not expired yet, but was close to get expiring.
So he does not have 2017 boots.
He has 2017 boots, and he has 2000. Should have his gear. His gear should be 2017.
Well, it says expiration date 2017.
That's the manufacturer date. You're looking at that. That's not the expiration date. That's the manufacturer date. So from all these on here is what you're looking at for 10 years from that date. Does that make
It
sense?
says 6/1/17 on as expiration date on his boots, but was Fred one of the ones that got the new year last year? Like, who's the 5 that got?
That's what I thought
He
too.
was on the list, but I don't know if he actually got it or
Is
not.
Tristan on the department?
Tristan is on the department, and
He's not-
Tristan is in brand new gear.
Yes, and he's not on this list, but there should be 4 other of these guys that should have that 2025 year.
So on the second page, that's all the new stuff. I didn't know who it went to.
Who it went to.
But what I can do is,
Yeah, there you go.
what I can do is update this list for you guys is what you're wanting, and I understand what you're saying. I believe the information on this list, this stuff has all been pulled. As far as I know, and I can go down and physically verify again with you guys that none of these guys are anything that's expired. Okay. And I will update your list per the fire, and you'll be able to see the firefighter, the date it was manufactured, and the date it will expire.
So how many guys are up to, guys on the route?
20, we were at 20, and then I just added 3 more, so 23.
So we're missing like around 13 on this list. All right? No. Yeah, so about 10 individuals.
Let's see here. Well, Nathan Wrinkle is now no longer on the department. Mackenzie Calvert is still on the department, but probably soon be leaving. And that's really it. I know there was a young lady that we bought gear for last year that never showed up or came to anything. So that gear got switched over to Chase Kincaid. So he's in a brand new set of fire gear. He just started here about 4 or 5 months ago with us. So we were able to take her gear. He fit into it. He got the whole new set, so he's good for the next 10 years. And again, that's what I can do for you guys for next month, and I'll present you guys a list of each firefighter's name, their gear that they're currently in, and the manufacturing date, and then their expiration date. If that'll be helpful to you guys and the DIDs.
Really, there's less than 5 years.
It is, each set, it's, the total cost last year was $4,100.35.
Okay.
So with that being said, about the gear, something we need to think about getting, and I've got a quote here for, new hoods. The NFPA upgraded and said that we have to start having these new hoods. We already have a few in-house already, but I need to update the rest of the guys with new hoods here.
Is that an old one on the?
This is an old one. This is what we're updating. And I will say, walking through and looking at some of these are over 10 years old. And they're no longer protecting the fire. These new ones, these new hoods here, you guys want, and this is a brand new one, so it's clean. You want to pass it down and check it out. They're about $165 a piece. I got a quote for 30 of them, which would be $4,950. What that would allow us to do is to replace the old ones and have a few spare, because these things naturally get tore up, ripped, torn apart. This is also the part that's exposed on the firefighter to the heat up near his head and kind of takes his mask. The biggest thing is it really protects against the smoke particles and potential harmful carcinogens now. Cancer has taken over heart attacks by killing firefighters. So we want to be all for preventative of this. And I'd like to go ahead and just get everybody's hood in the department place, these new hoods, to make them safe and to keep those nasty things away from them as needed.
Wow, those are already ready.
We've got about 6 or 7 in there. I got a quote for 30, but I could probably knock it down to 20 and be sufficient to cover everybody. I would like to have a few spare, again, like I said, just as things get tore apart and ripped up, and different things like that, you know, and guys lose them. I mean, they're an important piece of equipment. They have to have this to go into the fire.
That particular thing is not fireproof.
It's not fireproof, but it is heat resistant. And then they put this new a layer in it, which was what they call filtration technology, which keeps the soot and harmful chemicals off their skin. That's the big thing now, and that's something that we're going to start working toward here a little bit. Again, cancer has taken over as the #1 killer of firefighters, not heart attacks like it used to be. We were finding out that all this chemicals that were going into these fires that are burning, carcinogens and stuff, are actually getting on our skin. And actually now we're supposed to come out, and actually the NFPA recommends that every firefighter have 2 sets of gear. So he can go back and wash his set and then clean it up and let it dry and get into a new clean set before he goes on the next run. With that being said, $4,100 a piece, that's a lot of money, which I don't think.
$4,100 a set out
For 30 of them.
for 30, not a piece, right?
For a set of turnout gear.
I'm talking about the hood.
Well, I'm talking about the NFPA is now recommending that you have 2 sets of gear. So you have 2 coats and 2 pairs of pants and 2 pairs of boots, not necessarily a hood. But the hoods are $165 a piece. But I'd like to have a few extras so guys can have a spare to be able to clean these up when they're done. So
that total is $46.95.
49.50 is what I have on it for 30 new ones. Which again, I think we could probably get away with 20. If anything, I'm trying to negotiate at least 25 with you guys, but
So what it is we've been a little behind on,
We've been a lot behind.
yeah, on the state of Littleton.
Yes, yes.
Behind on it for quite a while, and now we're having to catch up, and it's expensive.
It is unfortunately, and I'm just trying to pick a few things apart each time and just slowly pick away at this so we can get up to speed. And the biggest thing is these guys have a lot of these old ones that they're still kind of using, and they may be less than 10 years old, and you can tell by the looks of them, they're pretty ratty, and they could really use these to be able to do something simple to be able to protect them. And the biggest thing is I want to protect them too. I want to keep that stuff off of them.
Do you want to go on to your next one and then I'll give my 2 cents?
That's no problem. I can do that. Along with that, keep asking here, but first new software is being utilized for runs. This is we're working on uploading our equipment and our inventory and software, like we talked about. We've been giving the firefighters their login. They've got some training to utilize this to do this, but we also found out there's going to be an additional cost to try to integrate this. What I knew as at the time of this report was we were looking at another, and we needed another $6,000 to integrate this system with the dispatch system, with an additional $600 per year. I was going to talk to the fire department members to see if they would be willing to spend some of their money to cover that cost, because you guys have already, you made a pretty big and large investment, and I think they deserve to make a little bit of investment into this too as well, because it's going to benefit them. We're talking with some information just a little bit ago with Zach. There's actually might be a cheaper way. We're always going to look for a better solution than paying a large amount of money. We are working all of our avenues. We don't have an exact cost, but there's another system that we can use instead of this $6,000 system that is way cheaper. I'm not sure know the exact amount, or we don't know anything about it, but we've talked to some other agencies in the state, particularly up in Knox County. Apparently they use First Due in this system, and they said they found another integrated system that was a lot cheaper and got the information that they needed out. So we're going to investigate in this a little bit more to try to get it as cheaply as possible, one, and get the information that we need without spending a lot of money on this. We want to be be financially responsible with this. So with that being said, I just kind of want to put that on hold now with you guys until we can give you more information to say this is exactly what we're going to do and what we need, and then also to be able to help the members tomorrow night and say, I think it's worth them investing some in this too, because you guys have already, we're the taxpayers already spent out some of that money, and I think it's time for them to maybe help out a little bit and to help put this thing together. So we'll kind of table that thought for a little while until next month, and I'll get back with you on that.
I thought that Boone County was gonna purchase that.
There was talk, and then once they found out they were going to charge every fire department $6,000 in the county to turn the switch on, which there are 8 fire departments in this county, so you can do the math. 8 times 6,
$48,000.
$48,000 a year.
Plus the $600 a year.
Plus the $600 a year annually to do this. So this is typical computer software programming, highway robbery, however you want to call it. I think I know for a fact that Zionsville went ahead and bucked up, paid $6,000 because they were stuck like we were. And what we're getting right now is what they call an email dump. So when a run comes out, an email gets sent out, and boom, it locks into our system and sets us off. And so we know there's a run. We're getting our information. We're getting the basic information. What we want to be able to do is, when we're done with the run, have that information and close it out, block it out, all that information from the dispatch center, our times, the run numbers, and any kind of different notes to be able to dump into our system too. And then when the guys go in to fill a report, they only have a few things to fill out, They don't have to go through and click on everything, try to get times and everything. So it makes their reporting time a little shorter. Instead of spending an hour trying to write a report, they're gonna spend 15 minutes writing a report. Real quick, checking some boxes, typing something real quick, shipping it off. And then Meter's Act's gonna look at it, QC it, make sure it's good, and then it'll get shipped off to the state. So, right now, we are utilizing the system, it's just not the way we want it, and the way we want it. Trying to do it the way we would like to do it, the $6,000 was an option, but it sounds like we might have one or two other options. To do something a little different, to be able to get the same thing out of it for way cheaper than $6,000.
Just plain catch.
It's playing catch up, but it's also anything new that you have, you're gonna run into snafus and bugs, and you're just trying to figure out new ways. Along with that, I went to a class, and that's later on here, but this last Sunday, a NEATERS class, which is at the new reporting system that they just changed over here to the state of Indiana. We went from NIFRS to NEATERS. The reasoning they did this is because it's a lot better, more data-driven system. Before, if there was a fire in Jamestown, this, as far as the state knew, if we called in Lisden, and North Salem, and Advance, and New Ross, and Lebanon, and whoever else, according to the state, there were 6 fires. Now they can narrow it down and realize there's 1 fire with 6 fire departments on it. That too, with that being said, there's going to be a near system that I'm going to be able to help give you guys some login so you guys can see the information. And this is going to help us drive decisions. How many times is the fire department going out? What trucks are they taking out? How long is it for them? How long does it take us to get out? How long? What times of the day? You know, what are the busiest days of the week for runs? What are the problem spots? You know, where is coverage missing here, missing there? You guys and myself are going to be able to log into that system and look and be able to see where our runs are. And 2, 1, we'll see if we've completed all the reporting as needed. And you guys will be able to do that by looking at it and just kind of see through and be able to pull some data for yourself. So as we make bigger decisions and different decisions and you know, God forbid, raise taxes to buy something, we can justify it, having good data. And we're not just going on a whim saying, hey, I need to buy a fire truck. Well, the system might show that we don't need another fire truck. We're okay with the one we got.
Joe, was his first due what did we have when they came, was that first?
That was first due. Mhm.
So a set of turnout gear is about 5,000, right?
It's roughly with the 5% increase, I'm guesstimating it being $4,300. With the 5% increase from last year's cost. And I should have something in a couple of weeks or next week or so. I was hoping to have something today. He was going to try and get it back to me today before the meeting so we can say for 2026, if we bought a set of fire gear, it was going to cost this period for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So 3 turnout gears is 13,000.
Mm-hmm.
The hoods is 5,000,
Mm-hmm.
18,000. The software is 6,000. You say you can get it cheaper, but that's the number I have in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's 24,000.
Mm-hmm.
Your Cume Cap Fire Fund currently has 55,000 in it. There's no way that we can take $24,000 out of the Cume Cap Fire. If you two feel this is deemed necessary, I say that we take it out of PS Lit. It has to come out of PS Lit. We're in the 2nd month of the year. We cannot wipe out the budget by 50% in February.
And with that being said, you were counting on 3 sets of gear. I'm only counting 2. It may be almost more.
Okay.
I
Then
mean,
we'll go to 21,000.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna wipe out a third of your budget.
Mhm. And my plan was to probably
So
take a little bit out of the lid, be able to pay for it.
I think all this come out of the lid.
The fire, I think the fire here can come out of CCF, but I don't think that the first 2 stuff can come out of QCAP fire.
Do we have a?
And it's only a certain first use for.
We do, it's for their program, but our program doesn't talk to the county's program. So you have to have this middle program to navigate it. Which again, I'm gonna come back with more information. $6,000 right now is the worst case that I'm looking at, but I don't want to spend 6. If I can get away with this for $1,000, that's what I'm wanting to do. I mean, I'm naturally getting the what we need, but at the same time spending, finding the best.
You're still looking at 18,000 for 3 turnouts and the hoods.
One of 3 turnouts or 2.
So I wanted to take. Which I know it only knocks it down $4,300.
Oh, plus the headgear, right?
That's 5,000.
Right.
So you're at 13,000 and some change. Then you'll come back for the software next month.
Next month. Again, we're still utilizing it right now, still trying to find the best way and, most cost effective way. Is the number one, most cost effective way. And what's gonna meet our needs the most cost effective way.
And piecemealing these turnout gears, you and I have had this conversation before, where I thought it was best to get with other departments that are ordering turnout gear. So if you go with London Fire or Brownsburg Fire that are ordering 50 sets of turnout gear, we can get on with them and get a lower price.
That's what this bid is. It's what they call the state FEMA bid. So it's the FEMA has said, or the Department of Homeland Security has said, this is the gear we approve, and we've negotiated a significant lower price on this with the dealers, and the vendors. And you will sell this gear for X amount of dollars, because, if we were to kind of price this on our own or try to lop in with Lebanon or Zionsville, I know it was over Zionsville, we paid about $700 for a set of gear.
Well, I think we have to have the gear.
I don't think there's a question of if we have to have it. The question is where we're going to pull the money from. And just with the 2 sets of turnout gear and the hoods, you're at 13,600.
It has to come from what money it has to come from. You put those guys out there. Safe.
Think you ought to have quotes for the turnout gear, or you want for the turnout gear?
I will have one before we go to order anything.
Well, I think you get approved. There's a decision.
What do you think, man? Or are you still thinking?
I'm just thinking. Is him giving us the quote and saying, yeah, it's the 4,300? Is that really making a
Or
difference?
approve it up
I mean, I
to a
guess
certain amount.
You can approve it up to a certain amount. I think that's what this would have the quote in front of you, but,
Yeah, I think it has to be for quote first. It has to be approved.
you know.
Anything over $2,500 has to be approved.
And that's what we're doing right now, right? Or wrong?
Yeah, but you don't have a quote.
So you're telling me that if Joe has a fire truck go down and he needs the engine fixed, and the mechanic says, well, you need a water pump and a thermostat, and it's gonna be X amount of dollars, we're gonna make him write us a quote, or are we gonna say fix it?
It's a different situation.
No, it's not. It's not. The man is standing here asking us for 2 cents a turnout here. I have not an issue with giving the turnout gear. I have not an issue with giving the hoods. The issue is where we're going to choose to take the money from.
What is your advice on that, Lori?
How much they do it? I mean, we can get the 2 turnout gears from the CCF. That's what the CCF is for.
With all the excess gear we have, would for sure need 2 cents.
I'm gonna have to double check because I have not had those guys in trouble and then be able to just actually sit and fit it. I just want to be kind of proactive, so if I need to get 2 sets, I can get them pretty quickly, because they take about 6 to 8 weeks to get in. And I was hoping to have the quote here, and the guy was gonna try to get me the quote, because he has a quote for the year, and that price is good for all year long, once I bring that quote to him. 2026. So this is what he told me, and I added up last year's total was 4,100, and he thought it would be about a 5% increase. Which is a pretty standard increase on cost every year. Which it was, like I said, another additional $207, brought up to 43.40.
So Joe has presented us with a quote from EMES for the hoods for the amount of $4,950. I entertain a motion to approve that quote.
I'm going to approve the purchase of new hoods to, was it NES? For the amount of $4,950.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Joe, get us quotes on your turnout here.
We do that, and we'll have that to you here in the next couple of days.
I think you can approve or authorize up to a certain amount. So, problem is you have an option to turn on your calls.
Well, I've got it says to give them a month and let him see what we have.
Okay.
See what I have to fit the guys in the next week.
Come in and get, and then we'll have some more concrete numbers next month, and at this point, 4 weeks.
We can absolutely do that for you guys. Well, now that we're done having, let's have a little good news here. The junior firefighters program started up this last month. We had our first kind of information meeting. Just know that we had 4 interested kids. We have 3 applications. They filled out their permission slips and their waivers on the spot. One hasn't returned his in yet, but I know where to go grab it from. So I'm really excited to have those guys be coming in the next few months, and I think they're going to be a huge asset, not only to us, but also to our community here. So. ISO, nothing new really to report. Our next check-in date is going to be April 5th. They're asking for the same information, training hours, dates, along with what the topic was, and along with our wonderful fires and number of responders as well. John Baird did reach out to me Friday. I was on shift and I was unable to take his phone call. But I did email him over the weekend, and we kind of exchanged an email or two. He said that he would try to get back with me this week and see where we're at. I think he just wanted to kind of check in and maybe give me a little bit of a progress report of how he felt. So other than that, at the end of the month, I'll be attending the Fire Chiefs Academy there over in Plainfield. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about being all week long and see what I can learn there. We can do to help our community here. So. Anything else for me?
Not for me.
Thank you guys. Yep.
Where did you get the waivers that the kids signed?
We made a lot. We basically just produced them and Basically says, I will limit us from any liability, to know that we're not gonna put them in harm's way, but if they're, while we're doing some training, if they choose to delay their meeting, you know, that's, they're doing that for all risk. Would you guys like to see a copy of that? Okay.
Yeah.
And I have something for you afterwards, but I'll do another. Okay. Huh?
Check your robot.
No, I didn't, but I have another one for you to do. I think we're gonna do
Should the town attorney review the waiver to make sure everybody is protected?
When we get it, we'll forward it to him.
I can do that. I'll do that this evening at some point, and what you all three of you have.
Building planning. Looks like there is 2 permits issued. Looks like there was 2 inspections. They're not here, so. Everything going good with the building and planning, Lori?
Yeah, Josh, could you say what happened today? I'm not sure. I like it. What was kind of, like I phone calls with you guys and my absent was used to show my electric or was suspected.
So,
I call it Josh.
what happened today was an electrician had scheduled a shut off for a service turn or service change out, going from 100 amp to 2. When they scheduled it, they had an inspection at 2 o'clock scheduled. Dave went there at 2. They weren't ready. He came down here and hung out for an hour and went back to inspect. They still weren't ready. So at that point, Dave said he had to leave. So that means no inspection, no electric turn. That's not Dave's issue. That is the electrician's issue, because the electrician knew they were having issues and never made phone calls to see if there was something they could do. They waited until the point of Dave not being able to be here. Everybody knows I have no issue coming back in to turn somebody on. You know, that's neither here nor there. But my hands are tied. If Dave did not approve it, then I can't turn it on. That's the rules. That's what we stand by. So after arguing with Lori and Pam, Adams Electric reached out to me. I told them the same thing. I can't do anything. So they reached out to Dave and said, okay, if we take pictures, can we at least get it turned on temporary, you know, like what they call temporary, which it's not temporary, it's permanent on my end. I can't temporary, but until they can do an inspection at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Dave agreed to that, as long as they're also getting, having to pay a re-inspection fee for wasting his time of today and him coming back tomorrow, which Adams Electric was, okay. So I was here until just a little before 5 o'clock. Got them turned back. So that is the issue today. Did come to a solution for it to get the homeowner back on. So they had power tonight, but that's a dilemma that could happen from time to time, just because, you know, I blame the electrical company, because they should have foreseen they were having issues and started making phone calls at that point to make arrangements, instead of waiting until, you know, the inspector was here over an hour longer than expected. So, but just so, like I said, Lori, so you guys understood what the issue was today. I do not blame Dave. I blame the electrician on it, because it was their responsibility and they dropped the ball and just expected everybody to bend over backwards.
So the electric company or the homeowner is paying a re-inspect fee tomorrow.
Right. Which they should, because
And then what does our ordinance state about, turning on services after hours?
it don't matter, I wasn't charging for it.
Huh?
I said I didn't charge for it.
I know you didn't, but I'm just saying, because you seem to like the, phrase, this is unfortunate, one of the unfortunate things that could have come up.
I believe there's a $50,
So
it's a
we
$50
paid,
fee.
we paid you 2 hours of overtime.
If we did, yes.
We paid you 2 hours of overtime today to hook that service up.
Like I said, I did not charge my overtime.
I
but yes.
understand, Josh. But I'm talking about, you know, we're not here just to do whatever. We're here to pay attention to what we're doing and to run a business.
Correct. So,
And you seem to think that this is one of those unforeseen circumstances that can come up.
right,
Well, you know, you're gonna charge this person in the morning for a re-inspect fee.
right.
Well, in
then-
my
Which
opinion,
really, there's no.
in my opinion, it should be a fee for hooking up after hours because you had 2 hours of overtime.
It should be both, because he was there, did his inspection, they failed the inspection because they weren't ready, so therefore, they should, that re-inspect fee is very much a charge for that. That is a precedent of, how you guys want to proceed in the future on these situations. Like I said, I didn't charge my overtime, but if that is where we stand, that's where we need to make sure the building department and the utilities are in line with that, so. If that's the protocols that you want, then that is what we'll have, is let them know that the 250 is in on that one. We have charged it before, it's not like we have not. In this case, it was just one of those things, with the coldness, I felt like it needed to be turned back on, and I donated my time for it.
You donated your time for it, so it's not on your time card?
Exactly, that's what I mean, I did not charge for my overtime.
Well,
So-
I'm just saying that it is in our ordinance, already existing ordinance, that if the utility comes, disconnects or reconnects a service after hours, there's an added charge. It's already in the ordinance. I didn't sit here tonight and make it up.
No, you did not, and I'm just saying is,
And all I'm saying is that money should be charged to customer. Whether Ryan pays it or the electrician pays it, because Ryan's gonna have a fit and say, well, I'm not paying that because I didn't do it, his electrician did.
no, I cannot disagree with you. I just said that I came back in on my own time and did it. I did not, it is not charged. That's what I mean is I did not charge the town for it. So, but if that is the request of the town council is that this be our SOP going forward, that is there, then the ladies know in the building department when this happens next time, that is a automatic charge that needs to be presented to them as well.
Isn't that already set precedent by the previous ordinance?
We have an ordinance that says, yes, we can charge that. I didn't charge my overtime, so therefore that ordinance, I'm not here. So therefore, it's not a charge to put on this case. But if that is what you guys want from going forward, no matter what, then that's what will happen. So therefore, like I said, the ladies in the office know that this happens, that it's automatically going to be charged regardless. So then I don't feel bad of coming in and charging overtime for it. So, like I said, I did not charge my overtime, so therefore it's not anything the town paid out for me.
During an inspection like that, is there already in place a reconnection fee anyways?
No,
I wonder why there shouldn't.
because it's not, that is never a charge. So like if I go out to a house and hook them up, it's not a charge to go hook them up. So if you start doing something like that, then you're charging the customer every time that a brand new house is connected. And that's not part of it. And that's what basically happened is they upgraded their service.
Yeah, but it was,
So then the
they were
ordinance
current
would
customers
apply.
already.
Except for it was after hours when we went and did it, and that is in there. So any after hour service call is in our ordinances for going in and being able to charge, so.
Okay.
So, and mostly we put that in there a while back because of, when we was doing turnoffs.
People coming home.
People
from work.
coming home and then all of a sudden they're trying to get something done, well then, we are coming back in after hours, later in the day to turn that on, so we put that in there. Also, there's a nuisance, it was also put in there for nuisances because we've had issues where certain people call, have it shut off, something shut off, and then all of a sudden, they want it turned back on. Well, once you start doing that multiple times, then it's become a nuisance. So therefore, it was added in there also for that case as well. So we had some way of saying, hey, look, we need to cut you off. You put a shut off valve, you're in on the water or, whatever. So that was the point behind it. So, but like I said, we will make sure from now on that is put in. So no matter what, that is a fee that they have to pay.
Did you feel like it was safe? Or did you turn it back on?
Oh, yeah, I mean, they were landed. So that was the biggest issue is they didn't even have the main wires coming from the meter base into the panel even hooked up when Dave was there. So therefore, I could not go hook my end up, put a meter in, and they can, turn a shut off and continue working. That was the unsafe. So once they had the main wires landed into the main turnoff and breaker in the panel, then it was safe for them to continue on working after that with that being off. So that was the issue. They didn't even have that.
So if their house caught on fire tonight, there's no way they can blame us.
No.
Because we didn't inspect it and we turned their power back on.
So it's not an uncommon practice what we did, what happened.
Did they take photos of it?
Yes.
Send it to the inspector?
Yes, Dave called. I did not act until Dave personally called me and said that he had gotten the pictures and all that stuff. So that was my thing on that. So
Okay. Since Josh is up there, I do want to make a point to the public and the internet world. If you are on Jamestown Utilities and you have a utility issue, it's your responsibility as the customer to notify the supplier that there's an issue. So it does no good for your water pressure to go to 0 and call Pam's desk and leave a voicemail that you have no water pressure. Because nobody goes to that desk until Monday morning or the next working day. We had a water main break and who knows how long it ran.
it looks like
Because
Friday night.
they called Pam's desk instead of Josh's desk. If you have an issue with utilities, please tell your friends and your family to call the emergency number and report the emergency. Whether you think it's an emergency or not, if there is a failure in the utility system, please call. We cannot fix it if we don't know it's there. It's very, very important.
And speaking of that one, I did forget to mention, I am looking at quotes to replace that line because that is, I said 8 months, it wasn't. When I went back and counted, it's the third time in 5 months we've repaired the same line in different spots. So it is obviously getting to be a nuisance in the line is failing.
And Josh, I just wanted to say something, I should have said it earlier, but Mary Beth reminded me, they talked about what a good job all of you did on the
If I call, we tried our best.
when you did a good job.
So, thank you.
Brian?
So the first question that arose at the meeting yesterday was, do you want us to still keep doing the flag sponsorship? You want us, JCP, to keep handling that for all the flags up and down Main Street?
We had no. The town board had nothing to do with that.
Well, it's, okay. I'll take that as a yes.
Only thing we did is I supply labor to go out and hang them.
Yes, yeah. So we supplied, as long as you're still okay supplying the labor, I guess is what I'm saying, then we'll supply the flags.
I think the flags look good and I love getting hate emails.
Well, at least now with the new apparatuses that go on the new poles, those all have a fixture for flags. So nobody can complain about a flag not being lit. So if it's not lit, it's not on. So, that was definitely a huge benefit there. The next was, we did decide on a fish fry date. We are gonna keep it on the first weekend of August, which this year will be August 1st, 2026. And we're still starting the serving, at 1 o'clock. We'll keep that, seems to work, so we'll keep doing that. And we had our
Serving at one?
start serving.
No. That's when it's entertainment stuff.
Oh,
I was gonna say, we've never started serving at one.
No.
we didn't.
3:30.
Was it 3? I mean, the event started at 1.
3 o'clock, Jason. Jason says 3.
Well, we'll keep it at that. I'm gonna make a note of that on my phone.
Do you know where it's gonna be at?
I'm getting to that. And this was something that we all, actually, all of us was, asking residents and around. This was a hard decision for us, but, we decided as of now, we would like, it went well for this particular event only to have it at the fire station this year. We have looked at other options and we have asked a lot of different people about that. And I know it's kind of a sore subject with the new building, but the new building isn't done yet, for one. And two, we have to publish a date and a place that we are doing it. So it will go on the published book. That wasn't taken lightly. With the amount of people that we had last year and the amount of being able to save money, which created more events for the children and adults alike, it was very successful to get that away. So this year we have, as far as the JCP, we've approved to have it at the Jamestown Fire Department.
Is that okay with the fire department?
Yeah, it is okay with the fire department, but then obviously it's, has to go for approval after that, so. No, that was all I had. Any other questions?
Thank you. Well, redevelopment commission.
Nothing to report.
Parks.
Here, a couple things, need to do it. Let's see, our last meeting, we talked about what type of sheds we want. To look into getting a shed or getting some shed designs to you for approval. The first was just kind of figuring out what we were looking for in the shed. We set some weed wrangle dates, February 21st and March 21st. Both dates are from 11 to 2. We do have the 28th of March is kind of a pop-off day in case either one of those 2 days are bad weather days.
We got in contact with Boone County Invasives. They have put out their flyer. I put it out on the socials. You'll see it again a few more times before weed wrangles, I'm sure. This is all in preparation for our April planting of another 500 trees, of which I've been told from Tri-West and FTIC will have help with them, from them, like we did last year. So hopefully it will go just as smooth as last year. We like the officers. I'm up here, so start with being familiar here. Pete was not at the meeting. He'll eventually be our vice, but he has work-related stuff. He's not gonna be able to make it, I believe, until the March meeting. Which coincidentally will be our next meeting because the meeting for February, myself and Pam, which is half of the park board, will be in Florida. And he won't be here either, so.
It's me, smart.
So-
Lori's making
All in favor?
Yeah, unless Lori wants to chit chat with herself about the person.
Oh, she does that plenty.
The downtown building, obviously everything's stalled, thanks to the weather. Hopefully that will get moving.
The builder said he would.
Yeah, actually in our meeting, Lori called the guy in charge of doing that. And he said by the first farmer's market, we should be good to go, which she'll have that proposal for me next month. But that's slated for the third week of April, which is the 18th, I believe. So that's when he said it in front of me, Pam and Lori that, oh yeah, no problem, easy peasy, you know, in so many words. So there's your answer on the building. I'm sure some people will miss it being downtown. Just means we're gonna have to find another event to have at the park, which I'm cool with. But I think the fire department worked out really well last year, from my opinion, from my vantage point, from the things I saw and I did. Can't speak for everybody, never those experiences, but just more room. That's kind of the thing. The downtown park is good for some things, but as we grow with our festivals, we just need more room. Other than that, I imagine you'll get an email from me and before the next meeting about doing flowers for the town on a personal note, unpark related. Yeah, that's about all I got.
You have flower boxes?
Well, they're supposed to be hangers.
We got pole hangers for our poles downtown, to hang the flower pots from, so we can clear up on the side.
And then the moment you guys get those pots, and I need to take one of them up there to the nursery so I can talk with the lady I've been working with the last few years to. This is kind of a different scenario being hanging than on I'll have the ability to drape stuff over the side.
Okay.
So
He's gonna paint flowers and we're just gonna stick them on the white poles.
I understand you're trying to save money.
Got anything else for Basin? Redevelopment Commission? Public request to speak, topics related to an agenda item. How about a topic not related to agenda item? Okay, park board is still looking for one appointment.
3 years now.
The redevelopment commission meets February 12th at 6:30. Park
Is
March 31st is not meeting. For a minute. Plan commission and PCA are not meeting. I would like to say thank you to Williams Tool for allowing the town a place to stack 40 feet of snow. Thank you, Josh. Thank Josh and his guys for cleaning the snow off of the downtown. Parking and the sidewalks.
We did an awesome job in the fire station, keeping open doors.
So, Cookie,
Well, let's not forget, you can too, because I don't have the understanding that you were out there involved in that storm.
I wasn't out there.
No, out there doing Main Street. No, that wasn't you. So you were doing that.
my turn.
Yep.
I move we adjourn this meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 7:45. Thanks, Jamie.
They want it.